There's no window, no sunlight, no escape. For up to 6 months, women live underwater with 130 to 150 men and can't leave. This is how women cope with living months on a submarine with men. Here's what most people don't realize. Once the hatch closes, there's no privacy, no reset, and no way out until the mission ends. They live inside steel tubes, surrounded by machinery, pressure, and people. They don't go outside. They don't see the sky. For 3 to 6 months, a submarine becomes their entire world. These women are not visitors. They're submariners, officers, engineers, sonar operators, weapons specialists, and every single one of them volunteered for this. Life on a submarine is extreme for everyone, but this is where it gets serious. For women, the challenge is different in ways most people never think about. A nuclear submarine may be more than 300 feet long, but most of that space is taken by reactors, engines, weapons, and control systems. What remains is packed tightly with bunks, narrow walkways, and shared work areas. Between 130 and 150 sailors live inside that space. If tension builds, there's nowhere to escape it. On land, you walk away. Underwater, you can't.
This is machinist mate Kiana Gonzalez's first submarine. She showed us the tight quarters, but she's focused on the mission and getting promoted.
Sleeping quarters are small, incredibly small. Most sailors sleep in bunks stacked 3 high. The mattresses slide into a metal frame. Under that mattress is a storage bin. It's only a few inches deep. That bin holds everything they own for the entire deployment. 6 months of life reduced to a single box. Privacy is almost non-existent. Enlisted sailors sleep in large berthing spaces with only curtains separating them. Officers share small rooms with 2 or 3 other people. You learn quickly how to change clothes discreetly. This is where mental pressure quietly builds. Women have been serving on U.S. submarines since 2011. Before that, they were banned. When the policy changed, the Navy moved slowly and carefully. The first women were officers, placed on the largest submarines because they had more space and more bathrooms that could be modified. These early women faced constant pressure. The equipment was designed around the average male body. Some valves were too high. Some systems required more upper body strength. Even protective gear didn't always fit correctly. Failure was not an option because mistakes would be remembered. But they persevered and adapted anyway. They were trained to the same standards as men. They qualified on the same systems. They earned their dolphins, the silver insignia that proves a sailor is fully qualified to serve on a submarine. The process can take a year or more and includes hundreds of hours of study, drills, and evaluations. Nothing is given. Everything is earned.
When I was on the USS New Jersey, I was one of just a couple female officers, and now almost half the wardroom is female officers who are absolutely crushing it out there.
Today, women make up a growing part of the submarine force. Hundreds are now serving across dozens of submarines. Their success rates match or exceed those of men. Retention rates are slightly higher. Women re-enlist at roughly the same rate, sometimes higher than their male counterparts. That surprises a lot of people. But that doesn't mean that life is easy. Submarines operate 24 hours a day. There's no day or night cycle. Lights are kept dim to protect night vision. Sailors work rotating shifts. You might sleep for 6 hours, work for 6, then train, then work again. Your body clock loses meaning. Fatigue becomes normal. Sleep becomes precious. Noise is constant. Fans hum, pumps thrum, valves click. Someone's always moving past your bunk. There's never real silence. Women learn quickly how to protect their energy. Rest whenever possible. Eat regularly. Stay hydrated. Small habits matter when stress never fully goes away. Food plays a huge role in morale. Submarine cooks are some of the best in the Navy. Fresh food disappears early in the deployment, replaced by frozen and canned meals. Still, good cooking keeps spirits up. For many women, meals become a mental reset point in an otherwise intense day. Exercise helps too. Space is limited, so workouts are creative. resistance bands, bodyweight routines, short group workouts in the torpedo room when it's free. Exercise isn't about fitness alone, it's about stress relief. Mental survival matters as much as physical survival. Submarine crews live by unwritten rules. Politics is avoided. Arguments are shut down quickly. Respect is not optional. If conflict spreads, it affects everyone. Women add their own strategies. Many build quiet support networks. Senior women mentor junior women. They share advice, not just about the job, but about coping, about confidence, about being heard without becoming isolated.
Anyone that doesn't agree women should be in the submarine force has to ask themselves why they would think about that. Is it because they have a notion that women are not capable?
Being outnumbered can be exhausting. On many submarines, women are still a small minority. That means being noticed more. Mistakes feel bigger. Success feels more scrutinized. Women learn to be precise, professional, calm under pressure, because credibility is built every single day. The Navy has also changed the environment itself. In 2024, the USS New Jersey became the first U.S. submarine designed from the ground up for mixed-gender crews. This wasn't a retrofit, it was a redesign.
In tonight's Eye on America, CBS's Charlie Daggett takes us aboard the USS New Jersey, the first sub designed with women in mind.
Curtains were replaced with solid doors. Berthing areas were separated properly. Bathrooms gained partitions and better privacy. Steps were added to reach high bunks and equipment. Valves were repositioned. Medical spaces were upgraded to support women's health needs. These changes help everyone, not just women.
When it was commissioned,
Does it feel like you're taking part in something historic?
It does, actually, because I am the first female on this boat to qualify an engine room supervisor.
Future submarines will include all of these features by default. The Navy learned that design affects behavior. When people feel respected, professionalism increases. But progress didn't come without problems. In the early years of integration, serious incidents occurred. Some male sailors secretly recorded female sailors in private areas. Investigations followed. Court-martials happened. Careers ended. The Navy responded forcefully. Zero-tolerance policies were enforced. Training became mandatory. Reporting systems were strengthened. Commanders were held responsible for culture, not just performance. The message became clear. Harassment ends careers. Women also became part of the solution. They spoke up. They supported each other. They demanded professionalism. And over time, the culture shifted. Submarine crews today are more disciplined, more respectful, more focused on mission success.
Thank you.
I've learned things from the ladies on the ship. I think they've taught me most to have grace and compassion. Their talent and their professionalism is matched to the rest of the crew.
The data reflects this. Mixed crews perform as well as, and sometimes better, than all-male crews in training and operations. Retention remains strong. Promotion rates remain competitive. The Navy expects its first female submarine commanding officer by 2028. That moment won't happen by accident. It'll happen because women proved they belong, not by asking for special treatment, but by meeting the same standards in one of the hardest environments on Earth. In terms of scale, the numbers are growing steadily. As of mid-2020s, women serve on more than 35 U.S. submarines, both attack and ballistic missile boats. Over 700 women are currently assigned to the submarine force, with deployments ranging from 90 to 180 days underwater. Women now make up about 20% of new submarine officers and nearly 10% of enlisted accessions in recent years. Living underwater for months isn't about comfort, it's about trust. Every sailor depends on everyone else. One mistake can end lives. That shared risk creates unity. When a submarine finally surfaces after months underwater, the crew steps into the sunlight together. Rank disappears for a moment. Gender disappears too. What remains is shared experience. They survived confinement, pressure, distance from home, and they did it together. These women are not surviving despite being women. They're succeeding because they're skilled submariners who happen to be women. Under hundreds of feet of water, in a place with no room for weakness, they've earned their place. And that's what makes this so extreme.